BTC still floating around 100K, but today it's all about DeFi. We're talking about some of these DeFi players on ETH. We know ETH strength is out there and things are looking good at the moment. Then we got updates on some of those banger trades from yesterday, and I've got loads of setups for you guys. I've also got DJ and Dave in the house. It's all going down on a Friday. Let's get right into this. And remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe, and here's our special guest. Oh, you know Rainbow Ray. He's not our special guest. He's our fucking local. And here's our special guest. Ripped him out of chart hackers, the absolute degen. And he's got a setup for you, DeFi play as well, coming in hot. So looking forward to what Davey has for us. And we're going to talk to him in a couple of minutes. Let's go. Banter Bubbles and Virtual coming alive again, being the gaming ecosystem. Little bit of a lagger. Is it time now for these gaming tokens to wake up for us as well? And then Ondo, what a massive performer over the last couple of days. We need to touch on Ondo again and do a recap as to where we are in the coming days. We're definitely going to cover that one for you guys. And then ENA, that is a trade I'm trying to build at the moment, and it's rinsing me. It's minus 8%. So I'm going to take you through that trade that I'm busy building at the moment. I think we're going to get a move out of that thing. So holding on tight. Let's see if that is going to play. Let's jump straight into BTC. And here we go. So what did we give you guys yesterday? We gave you that banger level. 99,300 was the zone. And I did a drunken long. So we were at the Banter Christmas party yesterday. And one of the guys came and said, oh, it's just hit your zone. So I just drunken longed BTC off about 99.5. And so far, so good. So our hot zone reacting well, and it's treating us kindly. So what are we watching out for now to the upside? So as you can see, I've got two big liquidity zones that are danger zones for us. So anything to the upside now that we're going to be watching, look for rejections. 102,200. Danger zone for me. Then also 104, that type of region could offer some kind of short opportunity there for us to the upside. So look out for that. And most likely a TP zone. For me, if I get the scalp into 102,200, I'm going to be jumping out of that one on Prime XBT. And then levels lower down. Now, something interesting here. This is a bit concerning because we've got liquidity building up. If you look at the liquidity heat map to the downside, look at this thick cluster, 99,600 all the way down to 98K. So that is now becoming a concern. Remember, the longer we hang out on lower timeframes in these regions, the degens come and they start adding their longs and adding their longs. And we know where the stops are sitting. We know where the liquidation levels are. So what I would say is if we do get some kind of Bitcoin reversal here today, look out down here, 98K. That is going to be your next long zone that you're going to look for. So anyone who got this long right now, we are cruising, looking for a rejection at 102. Let's see if that plays out. Lower down, 98K, and then 97,200 is going to be our backup zone. Now, we don't really want to go there this weekend. We want to see a green weekend. Well, ideally, that is what we want to see. And we want some of these tokens to print. I mean, who's got some Phantom? Who's got some Sui? Who's got some of these other bangers that are absolutely ripping at the moment? Daniel's shouting Peppy at us. And I've got a Peppy chart and an update on Peppy. I'm going to bring it to you guys in a couple of minutes. We're going to get there shortly. So let's see how that goes. And then here is my drunken long from last night. You know, we can do drunken longs as long as we're trading the hot zones, as long as we're giving them a go. So so far so good on BTC. My stop is 98,760. Okay, so that is that. Let's see how that continues to unfold now during the weekend. And then I found this video of my wife shouting at me every time I show her my P&L and I don't take profit. This is basically what happens to me, you know? And I mean, this guy, he's saying when she hears you won't sell until Bitcoin hits a million.
So check it out. So right. Another way to avoid that too, just click on the link right under my face. And you'll avoid that from your missus too.
This is what my wife does to me when I don't close my trades. She knows. She shouts at me like this. Okay, and now there's a little bit of news. I've got so much alpha for you guys. So I don't have too much happening in the news for you guys today, but I just wanted to share this for you guys. The Bitcoin miner net positions changed. Too long didn't read. Miners are diamond handing their BTC. So basically conditions have changed now with regards to the miners. They're making a lot more money and they are still selling to offset costs. Yes, sir.
Bullhorn. That's bullet.
They're still selling to offset costs, but more are diamond handing their BTC. The miners now have access to public funding. The game has changed. Long gone are the days of mine BTC and sell to cover costs plus to keep profit. A new wave of more consistent hodling and buying from the miners upon us. Yes, the game has changed a little bit, and you would have known. I mean, we've got all the ETFs and all these things. And then Uncle Donald, look, Donald's crypto portfolio is now worth over 15 million. Wasn't this portfolio about 1 million when I started sending him some shit coins on one of those shows, probably in June, July? So this guy's ramping his stuff up at the moment, and he's got this open wallet, and you can literally send money to the guy's wallet. So we've sent him shit coins in the past, and maybe we must send him a couple more here and just see if we can grow his portfolio there for him at the moment. Now, S&P, I feel like this S&P chart is one of the most boring charts in history. This thing just never seems to move for us. And at the moment, still cruising above all-time highs, still floating, and no changes for me. I'm not ready to try and short the S&P yet. Still want to let this thing do what it needs to do. For me, my strategy on the S&P, any short, I mean, any plays for me, most likely going to be longs on any pullbacks into, say, the 50-day MA, or if we come and close that gap, then we're going to look for a couple of longs on Prime XBT. But until then, I'm not getting in front of that freight train. We're going to leave that one as is. And then just to cover BTC on the 3-day, you can see we are in a sort of a squeezy setup here on the 3-day, and looking relatively bullish here as long as we hold 98 to 99K. That is going to be our big support that we want to watch. So anywhere on this 3-day level is good. We want to see the close above this region. Now, this 3-day candle closes in 7 hours, so could be pretty bullish for the weekend. If we do get that candle close above that region, that could tell us that we might get a push. Now, I mean, look, not necessarily straight to 113K, but it would be nice if we get that close. That will be nice and bullish for us. So if we're losing this rising trend, yes, things turn a little bit bearish. And what are we looking at on the 3-day? 90,900. That's our big level, and 88K. These are our danger zones to the downside. The alts will get absolutely rinsed. Okay, if that starts happening, just buckle up. Okay, it's gonna be messy if that shit starts going down. Okay, so you guys have got the plan. Bitcoin pumping, the drunken trade is pumping. That is good. Liquidation maps, you know where we are. Altcoin season.
Phantom TP.
Yes, sir.
You got them asking for Phantom TPs.
Guys, the Phantom is cooking. We got Phantom for you. It's coming in so hot. And I just want to say one more thing quickly.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening.
Altcoin season, we still, according to this chart, we were in altcoin season for 3 days. We are now back under altcoin season. So we got to be cautious. And we've seen this in a lot of these altcoins. Let's not forget, if we look at these altcoins objectively and we look at what is going on, a lot of them have lost their rising major trends. They've now retested and rejected. I'm going to use Injective as an example. WIF is another example. Solana could be one of those as well. So we're actually in a situation here where some alts are looking pretty bearish, unlike Sui and a couple of others that we are going to be talking about today. So just something to think about, but we are no longer in the altcoin season ban. So that is interesting. But how will we get back into that altcoin season ban? Well, this total 3 chart needs to pop, and it needs to pop hard. And you can see this is a nice weekly. We've had a strong bounce off our support. Now we want to just blow the 1.1 trillion mark. If we crack that, then I reckon that chart goes back into altcoin season, and we start smiling again. We start cooking. And another factor for us, again, unchanged. We are watching the weekly charts here, so a little bit of a slow mover, but this is a good example for us to pay attention to. As long as we're getting this type of candle on dominance, look at this rejection on dominance, so beautiful for these altcoins. As long as this thing keeps grinding lower, then we are cooking on these altcoins. So just a reminder, big resistance for us on dominance at 58.4. So any pushes into that region could be bearish for alts, but the minute we get that rejection, then we are good. So you've seen that now playing out for us. And remember the rules to the downside as well. If things are going super well, you flashing your wife, your P&L, you dropping your P&L in your WhatsApp chats, all those things. If you see dominance hit some kind of support level here, be careful on your altcoins. Drop into there, be careful on your altcoins. So those levels are 54.4 and 53%. Those are the danger zones there. Those are the potential areas where you might want to start taking profit on a couple of your altcoins as you go. Now, let's talk DeFi, and we know a lot of it's been sparked by Trump. We know his new DeFi project is causing a lot of excitement out there, and we've seen it. We've seen a lot of that going on, and 𝗬𝗡 is a prime example. And I want to look at 𝗬𝗡 today. I want to look at CRV. I'm looking at a couple of others, and we've also got Pendle from Dave as well. So Don Crypto Trades is telling us ETH still showing good strength, taking many alts with it, primarily ETH-related ones, DeFi. Okay, we know that. And he wants to see it flip this 0.04 level. This is ETH versus BTC. And he wants to get super bullish on ETH if that happens. Now, you can see we have been tracking this chart on the weekly for us on ETH versus BTC, and we are not out of the woods yet. So this plan of mine is still in play until ETH breaks new highs or until we start popping through this major resistance band. So you can see this is our resistance. We got our 100-day MA here. We got multiple weekly candle tops in that zone, that 0.4. So exactly what he's saying here. Pop through there, reject off that 200-day MA most likely, and then a super bullish sense. So that is basically how I'd like to see this play out if it's going to be bullish for us. But let's just get that break. Let's get that break on total 3. Let's get that break on ETH BTC, and let's get ETH to blow through 4,100. If we can get that stuff going, then I think this market triggers again. Now, again, I mean, you must be so bored of this chart at the moment. This ETH is a proper slow mover, but you can see these daily candles are looking good. But until we break these highs, we cannot get super bullish on ETH and maybe the market as a whole. So right now, we are still in the same situation I showed you yesterday. Until we pop that 4,080 or the 4,100 zone, we need to expect some kind of downside on ETH. You can see our oscillator that was turning bearish. They gave us that bearish divergence on the daily. Look at that. It has flipped over. But what is interesting to me now is we are getting a reversal at the moment on this oscillator. So it could want to just push a little bit higher here, and that could be our bullish trigger for ETH. So something cool to watch there. If we do get a pop this weekend, it could be pretty fire for us on ETH. And then Patrick Scott, the Dynamo DeFi man, he says, the DEX volume is up, the TVR is up, stablecoin supply is up, DeFi, Renaissance, anybody. Now, I think it's been going down. I mean, we've been tracking 𝗬𝗡, we've been tracking a couple of these other DeFi plays over the last few months, and I mean, it's been an absolute ripper. And, Look on Chain says Wales institutions are accumulating DeFi tokens on ETH. Galaxy Digital withdrew $1 million of uni and $10 million of 𝗬𝗡 from exchanges today. Okay, that's pretty bullish. That means they're not selling. Yes, sir?
There's a problem with the likes. A serious problem.
Guys.
Dave, what do you think about the likes, Dave?
Man, we got to get it up, guys. Come on. What are we doing?
He didn't grow
just not want
moustache.
Should we just start chilling on? What's that? Should it just be us?
I guess
no
so.
deal?
I guess so.
Guys, please smash the likes. Let's go.
I'm back. Okay, so if you like Dave's mustache, okay, hit the like button. Let's go. Okay, so we got 𝗬𝗡 version 4. V4 is coming. Prepare yourself. Okay, I think the market knows V4 is coming. 𝗬𝗡 is super bullish, and I don't need to show you that 𝗬𝗡 weekly chart again to get you excited. We know our 𝗬𝗡 target is 400 to 440, and Fahad, I wonder if Fahad is here. Is he still trading 𝗬𝗡? We're finally tracking it here for him today, and I see Ferdy says he's not called the Lord of Entry for nothing. I appreciate that, sir. Okay, so what I wanted to give you absolute degens today, I wanted to give you some degen plays on things like 𝗬𝗡. Now, if we're going to have a nice move this weekend, maybe 𝗬𝗡 is one of the ones we want to be talking about. So there's a couple of things that play for me right now. We can see 𝗬𝗡 on the 1 hour, our oscillator is moving lower. So we are looking for this oscillator to reset for us. If we can get this oscillator reset, something along these lines, we are going to be looking for a nice move from 𝗬𝗡. So we are nearly there on the 1 hour. So this is proper degen stuff here, guys. I mean, if we're going down to 1 hour, never mind the fucking 3 minutes that Ray trades. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes as well. But 𝗬𝗡 traders, there could be something coming here for you. And look, it's going to be dependent. This entry, 325, it's going to be really dependent on a nice Bitcoin sell-off. Now, I can't guarantee we're going to have a Bitcoin sell-off. So I'm going to give you another zone of interest. But it's, I'm going to give it to you. Okay. And you're going to do with that level what you want to do with it. But the best entry for me is 325 on 𝗬𝗓. If you get that drop, look at that anchored VWAP from the extreme lows. I've got a 382 as well, and that would take out half of this wick as well. So nice little region there for me if we can get that move. Now, I'm not expecting that. If Bitcoin's going to hold 99K, I'm not expecting 𝗬𝗓 to drop to 325, but this is crypto. Strangest things have happened. So make sure your alarms are set at 326, 327 for 𝗬𝗓. That is going to be your real banger zone there, where I suspect we get a strong bounce on 𝗬𝗓. Now, there is another one you can do. Now, these are the danger ones, and I was talking it on my live hackers stream today. On Fridays and Sundays, I do an exclusive Zoom stream for hackers, okay? And we tee up the weekend, and on Sunday nights, I do it with Dave, and we tee up the week ahead. And we were discussing this 236 fib, and these are a little bit suspicious because they are most bullish fibs, and we do get bounces off these things, but they're obviously not as reliable as a 382, a 618, and those types of things. So use them, at your own risk, obviously, but they do give us reactions. So another option here for 𝗬𝗓, 350. If you get that move into that 236, look for 350. You could get a degen play. You do have a couple of hours of support there, and you got that 236. We know it gives us a reaction. So option 1, 350. My higher conviction play, 325, 326, that type of region. And then I suspect 𝗬𝗓 gives us a nice bounce off that zone. Also interesting here, our quantum reactor is pushing up. That's extra confluence support at 285. But fuck me, I mean, the market's going to have to really fall over for 𝗬𝗓 to go back to 285. But again, this is crypto. Stranger things have happened. Let's just see the size of the move here, if it is going to happen. And remember, if it does, and we get that type of wick, okay, it's 20%, it's insanity. But if we get that type of move in the market on 𝗬𝗓, remember, that is a gift. Okay, the way this thing has been tracking higher. So look out, 285. I mean, just make sure that alarm is on in case that happens on a rainy day. It might not happen anytime soon. Now, Athena is another one. And what do they like to call this thing? The next Luna. Okay, call it what you want. Okay, we'll call it a DeFi spin. And I like the look of this thing, and I've been trying to build a position on this guy. And they've said themselves, you must not be afraid to dream a little bit bigger. Okay, 24.3 million in fees in the last 24 hours from these guys. Okay, so things are going down, and this is the trade I'm busy trying to build at the moment on Athena. So it might be a couple of goes here. We might have a couple of attempts at this one, but you can see I've broken this down onto the 1 hour time frame for you guys, and you can see what is going down. It's pretty clear the levels that need to be played here. So number one, we've got our trend break. We've got a retest now. What are we retesting? We're retesting the quantum reactor. We're retesting the 0.5 fib. We're retesting the fib, the trend, and we are retesting the anchored VWAP. So we are in an interesting zone here. Now, we don't want to close much lower than this 96. If we start closing under that 618, for me, the next entry I'm going to try and take is going to be at around about this 87 region. So 88 to 86, anywhere in that type of region is going to be the entry number 2, where I'm going to give it a go. So right now, I'm just trying to build a position. I'm just getting little bits here all the way down up to about 97 are buys for me. If that fails, then I'm going to let this thing play out a little bit. And if we do get a pump back at some point, we're going to have to start playing momentum. But I'm actively hunting a position here. And, let's see. We could get a little bit rinsed here. If you are jumping in now, what is your risk? Your risk is 2.75%. Make it a bit lower. So your risk is going to be about 3.8%. So manage your positions. You can see this thing is a little bit weak at the moment relative to some others. So it could take a while just to get a little bit more energy for the next move. But my 1 hour is telling me we could be close. Okay, look what happens here when these oscillators bottom out at these types of levels. We do get these types of moves. So look at that. We could be getting something here out of this guy. It's heavily oversold here at the moment. So even some snapback bounce could be handy here for us around about this level. So watching where we are right now, 99 down to 97, could be something interesting here, even a short-term reaction in this type of zone. And then we get a sharp bounce on this guy. So keep your eyes on that. Then another DeFi play or DeFi-related play has to be Chainlink. And we've seen yesterday there were super bullish moves on this. And you can see why. Trump's World Liberty, they bought 37,000 Link tokens. That's $1 million. And they bought some 𝗬𝗓 as well. Okay, not too much, but they bought a couple. And did they buy the top 360 of 𝗬𝗓? I mean, maybe they should watch the show. They might get an entry at 325. But here we go. Here's Link. So broken the highs for the year. I think we've broken the highs for the year on Link. So here is Link degen set up for you guys on the 1 hour. We are moving into snapback bounce zone now on our 1 hour oscillator. So big move here. You can see we had that divergence. What happened there? It started falling over, but now we've had a full move to the downside. And Link is sitting okay at the moment on a couple of levels. So the interesting zone for me, for you guys, has got to be 26.5. That is going to be a zone of interest there for us on Link. So we are just drifting into this area here. So any move around about that zone, I'm looking for a bounce on Link. If we're going to get a bullish bounce, I'd most likely expect it there. So 26.5, that type of region, you can use that as support as well. And then we also have this sneaky little pivot level here. Look at that guy. Bang. Okay, so 27.4. You can see we've got a little reaction there at the moment. And this is actually the one we were talking about using that 236 fib earlier today. And I was saying to the guys, look at this. Let's put this 236 fib on here. You get your reactions off this 236, but sometimes it's a little bit sneaky. So there was a little bounce earlier today, but then they've lost it now. So big level, 26.5. Watch that area. 27.4 could be something happening here. We do have, there's a VWAP here as well, and that horizontal. So that type of region could be an area. If you want to start fishing for a position, if you think we're going to have a bullish move this weekend, that could be the one for you. This could be a play that you guys want to look at. And then eyes on our oscillator, it's nearly bottomed out. So that's telling us one of these areas here should give us some kind of reaction on Link. So that is looking pretty decent for us. And then CRV. Now, guys, you've heard me talk about this thing on and off for 6 months. It doesn't feature that often, but I mean, we were talking about this thing at 26 cents. We were talking about it at 30 cents. We were doing all these things. And I mean, you remember the whole story with the Aave trade that was going down and the whole mess with CRV, but that is all cleaned up now. And obviously CRV is flying, and Hitesh says the flywheel is spinning at full speed. New supply mission going down, available supplies getting locked for 4 years. That's pretty intense, okay? 4-year lockup, trading volume up, revenue up, pipeline for more trading volume is set with a BlackRock partnership, okay? So CRV, bigger picture, we know this thing has got some major levels. Let me just show you quickly where this thing could potentially go. That's CRV on the weekly, okay? Let's not forget where we've come from, okay? I remember trading CRV at $4, at $5, these types of levels. We were doing all sorts of things up there in 2021. So, a big drop for this thing, small little pullback. And now we're looking at this thing on the 1 hour. We understand the big zones. We understand the big areas here. And how do we get a degen operation? How do we get a degen play on CRV if we want a taste of this action, if we know this thing is starting to do some work for us? So let's just... well, when you're ready, if TradingView can just allow me to load my chart. When it's ready, let's go. Let's go, TradingView, when you're ready.
In the meantime, let's let the Kiwi Canadian know about the oscillator.
The Kiwi Canadian, hello, sir. The man from New Zealand who's Canadian. The oscillator is the Chart Prime Pro Oscillator Plus. Okay, that is, you can get that in the bundle if you do the accelerator course. Alternatively, you can get Chart Prime as well from Chart Hackers. So if you're part of Chart Hackers, we got the whole Chart Prime team in the Chart Hackers group. They are giving you alpha, they're giving you bots, they're giving you automation, they're giving you all those things in there. So if you want some of that, it's the Chart Prime. But your best route, join Chart Hackers. We got all the indicator shit going down in there. We got the whole team in there. So that is probably a safe place for you to start if you want to get a taste of the Chart Prime stuff. Okay, we'll come back to CRV when it eventually decides to give me my chart back. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's very kind of you. Okay, so here we are. So CRV, let's take a look at what is going down on the 1 hour. You can see we're in quite an interesting range here at the moment. So you can see the highs are sitting at around 1.23. We got our range lows at about 1.01. A little bit of noise at the top, a little bit of noise at the bottom. But we can see the general zone that we are playing in at the moment for CRV. So we can call this consolidation. We can call it something preparation for another breakout, potentially something along those lines. What is interesting to me, we're nearly bottoming out on our 1 hour oscillator here, looking for some kind of action, and maybe a move is around the corner. So I just want to give you guys a couple of interesting levels that you can play with at the moment. So I actually want to highlight this 0.5. We've seen a lot of good reactions off a VWAP tied in with a 0.5. So that is going to be your next big zone here. So look out, 1.11. could be a nice little reaction play, and that could time in pretty nicely with this oscillator at the lows bottoming out here for us. So just watch out. You know what we sometimes look for, some kind of divergence, something like that. So look out for something to play out on the oscillator. The first bounce might just be a test bounce, so you might see something like that, and then some kind of pullback, some kind of divergence, and then a bounce. So that would be our ideal situation there on CRV. So DGen traders, what can I give you? What are your levels if you're looking for a potential setup here? 1.11. Okay, so what does that look like? Okay, proper DGen here. 1.5% stop. You're looking at about 1.115, somewhere like that. And that could be a bullish move to the upside for you. So 1.115 with a 1.3% stop. You want to keep your stop under 1.1. So a candle close under 1.1. If you're trading low leverage and you're the relaxed type of person, you sleep at night, low leverage, smaller positions, well, then you can do this. You can look for an entry at 1.11 and you can look for another buy at 1.08. By then, I suspect that 1 hour should be fully reset, and then we'll get our short-term little pop there off that 1 hour. So remember your trading strategy, and look, we try and cater for everybody here. The most comfortable way to trade is most likely spot, but it's obviously difficult because how do you get positions of size if you only have a small amount of spot available? So then option number 2 is we can have margin trades that are lower leverage, 2x, 3x, 4x, those types of things. And then we got the DGen trades, but those require slightly tighter stops, 1, 2, 3%, and obviously a couple of goes. Sometimes you have to have a few goes before you get the momentum. Then you nail that entry, and then you are killing it. But a couple of strategies you guys need to decide what your strategy is. And if you have conviction on CRV, this play could work. Little DCA strategy. So 1.11, 1.08, buy in nice and slow. When it gets momentum, you can start adding to the trade. So you'll typically break your trend. Then you start adding more as it breaks through a horizontal. You add some more to your trade. You grow the size and you do big things. Okay. And then you show your wife your P&L, and then she'll do this to you if you don't close it. So that's pretty much the strategy that I like to employ. Now, let's talk. Dave, are you okay there? Are you okay?
Doing great, sir. Yes.
Doing good.
Guys,
do you like his mustache? It's a new addition. It's a trading mustache, I'm telling you. Okay, let's go. Uniswap. Now, JJ Cycles, he says, this Uniswap chart has to be one of the craziest charts out there, flipping an almost 4-year downtrend versus BTC. Okay, yes, got my attention. Okay, looking interesting here for us. And I've had a crack, okay? I had a go at Uniswap. I dropped this in the chats in Chart Hack because I said I'm putting this on the show. And I'm taking this Uniswap trade. So here I am. I've opened it got my second buy order. Fuck me. Okay, I had 2 buy orders set here on Uniswap. It's now picked up a $40,000 position. And my stop loss is 16.75 at the moment. So it's just under the lows. It's a hard stop that I'm using at the moment. So I had 2 buy orders set. Yes, sir. Let's fucking go. I concur. Okay, so I had 2 buy orders. The one was when I entered the trade, and then I had one a little bit lower in case they were going to send a wick down. So now we are in that position. Let's see. My stop is 16.75. I'm trading this on ZoomX, guys. And remember, ZoomX is one of my partner exchanges. No KYC, absolute banger. DGen exchange as well. You know I love DGen exchanges, and this is it's a banger. There's a link in the description for you guys if you want to trade ZoomX. Remember, everything I talk about here, my entire shopping list is here for you guys under the show description. And I actually remembered I need to tell you about Ledger as well. Let me just find this Ledger thing now, guys. There's a link in the description for Ledger, and they've partnered with Banter. And what they want to do for anybody who buys a Ledger here is give you $70 voucher worth of Bitcoin if you buy a Ledger Flex. So if you spend $249 using the link in the description, they give you $70 worth of Bitcoin. So you're effectively paying $180 for your Ledger Flex. Sounds like a good deal. Okay, so have a go. If you want a Ledger, store your profits, store your shitcoin, store your Bitcoin, whatever you want to do in there, that is there for you guys. Okay, so this ZoomX, what have I got? My high conviction Bitcoin trade, still haven't closed the balance. ETH, still haven't been able to add much more other than that last limit order that I picked up the other day. And now we've added Uniswap to the mix. Okay, so I'm looking for a few things here on Uniswap. Now, let me show you why this caught my attention earlier today. And this is Uniswap on the 1 hour. Now, today, you guys will note that we have gone we've gone absolute degen today. Okay, because it's Friday, we're just going degen, and that's why I'm giving you these 1 hour setups here at the moment. So Uniswap, what did it hit for me? Anchored VWAP, 382, horizontal, bang. What else do we have to the downside? Bang, reversal on our oscillator. That tells me it might be worth taking on a little bit of risk. So that's why I've taken on some risk there, because there's a couple of things falling into play here. Now, how can we play this in another way? Number one, you can grab your small positions at these type of areas. Okay, so these type of levels, you can grab small positions. What you see here is a descending trend, and we know what happens. At some point, this thing either trends down and it carries on going. So we can't get too euphoric just yet, but it can either trend down or ultimately this thing breaks a trend. Once it breaks that trend, it gives us an opportunity to add to our position. So we can just increase the size as we go, and we can trade that momentum and send that thing higher. But right now, things are pointing to a possible reversal on Uniswap. At the moment, you can see my oscillator. I've got my green reversal on my prime oscillator here, telling me maybe a little bit of upside coming. So that is why I've taken on risk. So a couple of pieces of the puzzle all went together. Let's see if we get a move now out of Uniswap. And you know where the stop is. It's a hard stop, guys. So what I would suggest, if you are actively watching your trade, I'm not going to be. So when I'm done here, I'm not looking at my charts for a while. So hard stop, 16.75. If you are actively watching your trade, look out for things like this. A little stop hunt, push you under, then send it higher. Look out, these market makers love to do a little stop hunt here on some of these tokens. So just be careful there with Uniswap. And then upside targets, let's look at 19.1. Let's look at 19.3. That will be these highs and these wicks. So we're looking at that type of region there, maybe those wicks as well as a potential target for us. And then obviously, if we zoom out on the weekly, you can see where Uniswap can go. Okay, look at this. We are looking at 26, we are looking at 29, and we are looking at 41. Fuck, I remember trading this thing at 40. Wow, in 2021, absolute savage. Okay, so those are your upside levels here. What I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to get this break. If we can get this break and we get a position going, okay, then we are ahead of the game, and then we are cooking. Okay, so Uni, that's the plan there on Uni. So 1 hour chart. And guys, remember, all the Chart Hackers members, you get these charts straight into Chart Hackers directly after the show. I think Ray is so sneaky, he even dumps them in during the show. Just make sure you are watching, obviously, for context and everything. Okay, let's talk a couple of trades that I got going on. Hello, sir. He's giving us the nod. He's giving us the nod.
Max productivity. Max productivity.
Okay, are you guys ready for DJ and Dave? Okay, are you ready for the man? This is the man of the moment. Are they ready? Are they ready? What's our likage like, Ray? Are we ready for this?
Yeah, they actually came through. They came through with the likes. Thanks.
Nice. Okay, we'll leave him. We'll leave him here. We'll leave him on the screen. Okay, this is what we got. Calls from yesterday and the day before. You guys know I've been trading this thing. It's finally woken up. It's actually one of DJ and Dave's favorite tokens to trade. He even has a core t-shirt. But this thing's starting to get momentum, and I wrecked my entry yesterday. I got in too aggressive, but fortunately it's now playing its part. So now I've got a $30,000 position here on call, going quite nicely. My stop is pretty much break even, so it's a risk-free trade now. Nice position size by adding. Nice position size now, risk-free trade. So if it pushes higher, handbags. Okay, if it pushes lower, no risk. I don't get the wife shouting at me unless I show the P&L. Okay, ENS, little scalp long, had a go. No actual conviction here other than it was in a tight range on the 15 minutes, and the degen in me wanted a piece of that. Brett turning over a little bit, so that Brett short, yeah, it's okay. Phantom, absolute ripper today. We covered that on the Zoom session today as well, and that Phantom setup has been dropped for you guys for 2 days in my channel in the Chart Hackers. So that Phantom is a ripper. Injective short still playing out. No reason to close that. Sui, absolute banger. Peppy waking up. AVAX looking good. Hit resistance yesterday. I'm showing you that chart. Whiff, not so good at the moment. So I showed them my strategy. Here's my current whiff situation. I'm in a whiff short from that short zone that we gave you earlier this week. And here is my whiff long. So I started a whiff long position. I've got one more whiff long order. We're going to talk through the chart in a minute. I've got one more whiff long at 2.81 is my whiff long order. And I've got my whiff short close at 2.81 as well. So what I'm looking for is if we dip into that zone, it closes my short, adds to my long, and my stop is sitting at 2.78. So that was the strategy on WIF. Let's see if it plays out. I'm going to show you guys that chart in a couple of seconds. So before I get into some of these trades like core that I've got here, Sui deep update from yesterday, let's talk today. Let's find out what he's doing. One of our big money makers there in hackers. And he's one of these guys that like, you'll just message me and saying going short, going long. And I don't even look at the chart. I just go. I just push button. It's one of those. Okay, talk to me, bro. What's going on?
Awesome. Can you guys see my screen here?
No, we're just looking at your mustache at the moment. Let's get the screen. There it is. Bang.
Mustache. Cool, guys. So I've got a setup here for you. I actually gave this setup or kind of gave awareness to the chart hackers on Tuesday about this one. But one, especially with DeFi, is Pendle, right? So let me kind of explain this here. So you can see that, and for those of you guys that use this indicator, we have easy algo monthly pivots right below Pendle here at the moment. And then let me take you through kind of the TA here. So we've got a momentum line that I've got drawn from the 4th of August, right? So you can see that it's been respected beautifully here. And we try to break out, then we had that kind of shakeout situation earlier this week. And you can see that when that wick happened, it tapped that momentum line perfectly. So not only did we tap it, but we reclaimed very quickly. And you can see right underneath, we've got some higher time frame anchored VWAP action. We've got a 200-day MA, and then we are right above the 50-day MA, right? So I love whenever you have moving averages, anchored VWAPs, and then not to mention too, but the chart prime Oracle indicator here shows us the quantum reactor is in this region as well. So not to mention we have a point of control. And so if you kind of zoom in here a little bit, I've got a fib drawn from the low to the high. And then I've also dropped an anchored VWAP from this wick. So as we speak, we are sitting on a 382 anchored VWAP in the shorter time frames. However, if we get some kind of dip, I think this is the lowest we're going to go. And that is, for me, is an adding opportunity. I've started a small position here. I would say it's at an entry now. You can see that yesterday, whenever we did bounce the 382, we did have some kind of move to the upside. Now we're essentially back at entry for a 382. So my strategy here is that starting a position low leverage, okay, and then once or if we do get this dip here into this zone, this is where I'm going to be adding aggressively to the position here, right? Again, we have a point of control, we have a hacker zone or 618, we have a 50-day MA. There's just so many beautiful things tying in here, not to mention that this alert that I have at 552 ties in right into the top of the monthly pivots. So for me, there's just high conviction across the board on this guy. And once this guy starts to make its move, let's just say that we do top out here, kind of this double top situation. We're looking at a nice little 20% move. Okay. Now, higher time frame stuff, if we end up breaking through this liquidity zone that chart prime is showing here, and you can also see that this liquidity zone is a bullish zone here. Okay, once we can get to this level here and kind of consolidate, I am looking for that move to the 1618 at $8.51. And especially with all the DeFi stuff happening here, this could be a nice little 45% ripper. Okay, so yeah, I think this is great, and let's make some money on this one.
Okay, guys, we're going to drop this chart in Chart Hackers for you guys, obviously, as well. It's going to be there. Dave, what a fucking banger. Okay, how's that support? So this is what we love. I mean, this is really, guys, this is what we love. We love this confluence in these areas. Okay, so when you get a build up, you put all these puzzle pieces together, and when you got 4 or 5 or 6 of them, you actually start drooling. If you're a bit of a DJ and you see that, you actually start getting excited. I mean, it's the best feeling. Okay, banger trade, bro. What else are you looking at? Anything else fun?
Man, I've got some, but I'm gonna have to save that for the Chart Hacker Club, man. So.
Okay, well, guys, if you want more of that, you know where to go. And never mind what Ray is fucking getting up to in there. Wait, let me show you guys this. Let me show you this guy.
Ray's on fire, man.
Fucking hell! Look at this. Okay, round 2 today. Okay, look at this P&L from everybody. Ray does like a 45-minute session. It's like fucking bang, 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 bang. It's all going down in there. People, if you want to be an absolute savage, okay, if you want to be a savage, you want to learn the ways of a proper degen. Okay, that's also available for you guys in Chart Hackers. Okay, so there's a lot going on in there at the moment. We're having a good time. Ray, good for you. Fucking rock and roll. Okay, let's talk core. So just to cover where we are, core with regards to targets and things like that, and what I'm looking at. So it did kind of pop quite nicely out of nowhere. So, you know, it's been a good mover for us. But the first target for me that I'm really keen on is this 1.63. So I'm going to be jumping out of core if we do push into this type of region here. I'm out of it. So 1.63, if we can just hang on there. I see we're getting a rejection now. And, you know, I don't want to lose out on that trade, but that stop is at entry at the moment. So let's see. Okay, so that is my target, 1.63. How do we adjust our things just so we can see where this thing can go? Let's go. We take our fibs from the lows to the highs. We look for tie-in. We look for confluence. And how many times have we seen today, and David's example as well, Pendle, 382 anchored VWAP. We've had hundreds of these altcoins, literally hundreds on 382 anchored VWAP or 0.5 anchored VWAP. And they're getting reactions off these zones currently today. So another hot zone here for me, core traders. 1.3494. Let me just see what's my entry here. 1.28. Okay, so I might actually survive this one. So if it does dip into that zone, then we might actually be okay there. Let's okay. So call 1.35. Call it 1.35 to 1.32. Look for a bounce there. If there is a bit of weakness, and you can see the target's pretty clear. So anybody who's not in that thing, something like that, okay, should still be pretty bullish there for us. For core, 1.35 to 1.32. Target is going to be 1.6, give or take. Okay, that's ideally what you want to do. And oscillator getting a little bit tired. Yeah. Okay, so eyes on this oscillator. Couple of reversal signs. Let's see if we get one more push. You can see what sometimes happens here. You get that reversal. Look at that, but it still wants to climb. It still wants to go higher. Maybe we get one more of those. Let's see if that's going to play out for us. So I'd love to see that upside target there. Then a couple of updates from yesterday. One of them is 𝗬𝗎. And one day later, okay, 𝗬𝗎 just hit another 24-hour record for DEX volume, 555 million.
It's amazing.
How's this even happening?
It's amazing.
It's unreal. This is why I really want to hold an entry here on 𝗬𝗎, and I'm really hoping we don't go too deep. So I've got a good entry here on 𝗬𝗎. Hopefully some of you guys are in this trade with us at the moment. And what do we do now? Now we're hunting new bounce zones for 𝗬𝗎. Now you can see earlier today, look what it did. 236 fib actually gave us a strong reaction. Now we saw Link hit the 236 and fall over. 𝗬𝗎 hung around that super bullish 236 fib, gave us the reaction. So what do we do now? We just drag our fib a little bit higher, and we just keep finding our levels of confluence. And as you can see, this VWAP keeps climbing, and we're getting a nice solid support base for us now at around about 4.4. So if you are sitting in 𝗬𝗎, your first area where you kind of have to start reassessing how you're dealing with the trade, 4.4. If we start closing under there, they're going to take out this candle quite quickly, and then we are going back down to 3.88. So for me, from my side, from what I'm trying to achieve here, don't really want to see much lower than this 4.4 zone. If we do dip into there, that's still a trade zone for me. That's still a high conviction bounce zone that I'm going to be watching. Anything else in between like that, it's a little bit too degen for me right now. Okay. Earlier today on the live Zoom, though, we did take a breakout trade on 𝗬𝗎. Okay. We played that breakout candle. So we're going to take a look and see how that one, if it's still alive, we're going to see if that one is still going. But high conviction zone, 4.4 on 𝗬𝗎. Interim upside targets, 5.2, 6.3. Those are the current targets. Obviously, there's guys talking about 20. Yes, maybe it can go there, but fuck, it will be a ride. It will be a proper ride if we go up to those types of levels. Then an update from yesterday. Dave, look at this banger. I know you like 𝗬𝗎s as well.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the absolute banger. 382 VWAP, horizontals, bang. Okay, entry zone number 1 there on 𝗬𝗎s. So I hope some of you guys got some 𝗬𝗎s yesterday. I know tons of the Chart Hackers guys got this deep yesterday. They've been dropping P&Ls in the chats on Chart Hackers. So anybody who got 𝗬𝗎s, firstly, let's confirm our levels. No support changes here for me. 0.396, no changes so far. We've had a little bounce. Okay, good start. We've had a trend break. Let's see if this thing pushes higher. Remember, this is the DEX on 𝗬𝗎. 𝗬𝗎 doing well. Cetus, naturally should do well with it. So 10% moved. So far, so good. Look for the highs at 45, 46. And then after that, we're breaking. And we are sending this thing much higher. So 39,6396 is your interim support that you're going to be watching for Cetus. And then how's this deep? What an absolute fucking banger as well. And what did they give us? I mean, I've been ripping off this 236, but look at this. They gave us 236 and VWAP today. Wow. Okay, well, yesterday on this deep exactly into the zone. Look at this. It's a thing of absolute beauty. And I'm glad to hear that some of you guys are printing. So I've added a little bit to that deep position that I took on 𝗬𝗥 yesterday, just before the show. And what I've done is also I've added another entry zone for me. So if we do get a dip, I'm going to add more at I've just moved that, but I'm going to add at 1 point.
That was a fucking banger.
It was a banger. You know what else was a banger? That blue pumped 40% yesterday. But deep, we got 1007. I've got another limit order there, and you can see my stop is now moved 0.09866. That is where my stop loss is. So if we do get a moderate sell-off, I'm picking up another order there, and then I'm running a relatively tight stop, which will probably be around about entry if it does drop a little bit lower. So that is my strategy on 𝗬𝗥 as well. Another DGen exchange. Guys, so much DGen fun going down here. Okay, let's go. AVAX, news on AVAX. What happened yesterday? They raised $250 million from Galaxy Digital, Dragonfly, Parafire, despite holding people in the fundamental guys. You know the story, okay? We look for pumpamentals. That type of news pumps things, okay? What does AVAX do? Pumps into resistance. What did we say on the show yesterday? Careful up here, most likely a rejection zone. Now this thing is rejected. Where are we buying AVAX? 50. Okay, that is my level. 382, anchored VWAP. $50. That's the level. Look at the tie in here. Look at these horizontals. Absolute bangers here. So look out. Little stop hunt. Maybe they just put you under pressure there. Just look for that. Okay. You'll get away with a very tight stop here. So anything from 50.5 down to 49.5, that type of region. Look for entries there. Tight stop. That is going to be your support band that you are watching. And remember the game plan here. You can nibble on those zones. We get good entries in these areas. And then what happens thereafter? After that, we get these trend breaks. Okay. Let's say we dip into that. After that, trend break, add to the position, send. Break there, add to the position, send. Okay, that's if you have that conviction and you keep adding, you keep growing. These guys shilling all my 𝗬𝗎 bags now. Slick Rick, did you complain that we weren't shilling 𝗬𝗎 enough for you, bro? What happened there? What happened? How's everybody in the chats before we move on to some more trades? What's going on here? Anka, yeah, it's a little bit choppy. Ivan's got his limit orders in. Consti, I've got Phantom for you, bro, coming in hot. And what else we got? Chris is looking for some Doge. I haven't got Doge today, unfortunately. I do have an injective chart in my browser. Hopefully, if we got time, we're going to get to it. Bakey's also, Lukey is also looking for some injective. Lukey says absolute banger. And Iceman says uni is dipping pro newbies. Okay, I don't know what that means, bro. Let's see. Are we getting rinsed? Where's our uni? No, it's not dipping. What does he mean? I don't know. I don't know.
Second candles.
Okay, mustn't watch the little candles. What else are the little candles here, bro? Kung Fu is back. Okay, what else is going on in the chats here? I see NZ Danny. Okay, now this is how you do things. Okay, you watch the show, you hang out in hackers like NZ Danny, knows the story. Okay, knows the story. Limit X as well. He's one of our members there in Chart Hackers as well, and also a hot trader. This guy, we met him in Nashville, and absolute banger. Okay, enough digressing. Let's get into some more action here. Let's go. AVAX we got. Arweave. Okay, so this has been interesting for me. So Arweave was a trade I took on Bitfunded earlier today. This was one of the setups that I dropped in Chart Hackers yesterday. And we're getting our 382 anchored VWAP reaction again on the zone. So what do we know about Arweave? We had our head and shoulders. This fell over. We also had divergence on our oscillator. Look at that. We got our divergence, head and shoulders, fell over into the zone. Now, it's interesting. It's a little bit choppy on this area. So I would say this is pretty undecided right now as to what the next direction is, to be fair. 8, that type of region here, I'm long off those levels. obviously looking for higher. If we do break that horizontal, then this thing starts cooking. But we do have problems ahead of us. So anybody trading 𝗟𝗓𝗡, we have an issue at 24. That's our 200-day moving average. That's our horizontals. We've also got VWAPs up there. So it is a bit of a danger zone. So what does that mean for us? It means there's a probability we get a rejection there. But if we blow that area and we manage to snag entries down here and we pop this zone, that gives us the ace, okay? That allows us to add to this position and let it send higher, and we're going to keep our average entry under major support. If we can keep our average entry under that 200-day MA, we are so ahead of the game on this 𝗟𝗓𝗡. So worth taking on risk here at these levels, because if it blows that area, we're ahead of the curve, we add to our position, bigger size, send it, and we've got big support on that 200-day MA. So 𝗟𝗡𝗡 traders, 22.8, watch that zone. Emergency level to the downside, 21.8. 21.8, watch that. Okay, any hard dips into that type of region, 21.8 is where it's at on your backup zone. So especially the DGen guys, make sure you have your backup levels. There's nothing worse than trying to get into a DGen trade, then they wick you low and they bounce off the next hot zone and absolutely send that thing. So make sure you know where all your levels are there. And BS, he wants a 618 banger. Here it is, 21.8, bro. There's your 618 sitting there waiting for you. Look for that wick into that VWAP as well, anywhere in that type of region. Right. Where's the rainbow, bro? Where's the rainbow? Okay, let's go. I got, okay, so let's talk Bitfunded. Okay, so SUI, that was the scalp trade. 𝗟𝗓𝗡, that was the long from earlier today, off that hot zone that I've just shown you. And then GRT, that's been open now for a couple of days. Remember, guys, Bitfunded, they give you a demo account. You send them $79 or $100. You get a 5K or a 10K account. It's a demo account. You make 8%, you make 5%. And then they give you real money to trade with. You keep 80 to 90% of the profits. Nice way to trade, especially if if you've got a small amount of capital to start with. Maybe this is something you want to look at. So same story. Everything is here in the show description. Just go onto Bitfunded, click on Bitfunded, sign up there for the challenges, and then you guys are sorted. And then you have another trading weapon. Okay, another way to use some leverage there. Okay, Phantom time. Set up from earlier today. This was in Chart Hackers for a couple of days here, waiting for this region. We covered this on our Zoom this morning as well, and nice little mover. Okay, so what did it hit here? It hit anchored VWAPs. It hit our 0.5, it hit our horizontal, and it's given us the trend break. So anybody who got in this morning has now had the opportunity to add to their trade here for Phantom. So that is looking pretty good for me. If you are sitting in Phantom now, what you want to do is just tighten up your stops a little bit if you want to be safe. So your levels of interest now that you can use for a stop are 1.22 and 1.19. So if you close under those, 1.22, if you start closing under those, that could be a cut zone. If you start closing under that one, that could be a cut zone as well. So 1.22, 1.19. What are the upside targets for Phantom today? Well, let's see. We're probably getting a 618 rejection as we speak now. Let's just see what we've got here. Okay, there we go. So we got a little bit of a problem here with that 618. Let's just highlight that for you. Okay, so a little bit of a 618 rejection. That's always a danger zone. What you want to see in these types of areas now, when you get these types of things, you want to see some kind of flag. You want to see some consolidation, then the pop. Okay, so our next target for Phantom, 1.31. That is going to be your next zone. 1.31 is what you're looking at. And then my dream target for Phantom is actually 1.6. Is what I'm looking at. So we got work to do there, but it's a nice weekly level. There it is, 1.65 is what we're looking at for Phantom. So could be a nice target. Might be a false start. As you can see, we've got this inverse head and shoulders here. Look at that. So it might be a false start. They might want to dip this thing a little bit lower first. So look out for that play. Okay, look out. It is on the table. If they do want to do that, you might have to get a second visit then on Phantom. So look out for that. But right now, those are your interim targets. Those are your exit zones. Those are your support zones that you can be watching there. But nice to see a little flag on Phantom. And then Sol, how bearish is this? Sol's looking so bad at the moment. And it's looking so bad that my bot opened a short. And I was going to say, the bot obviously knows something I don't. But so just to cover Sol traders, I'm going to show you this bot that's running now at the moment as well. And Sol, look, it's looking bearish, but in its defense, It's holding 122. That's a big level. 122. Look at that. Anchored VWAP 382 in play. That's a bigger VWAP as well. So Sol traders, we can't say this is that bearish just yet. So 222, use that as support. If we start dropping, you can see clear as day here. Your next level, 214, that's a zone for me. That is a reaction zone there, 214. And then if the shit really hits the fan, you back at 200 for Sol. So it's 222, 214, 200. Those are your levels that you're going to be watching. And guys, remember, we are trading bots as well. Part of the accelerator course is bots and automation, and part of Chart Hackers is also bots and automation. We got the Chart Prime team in there that have this back tester. They've got all sorts of strategies for you guys. And these are my active bot trades that happen automatically for me. And I'm running these on BitGet at the moment. So you can see it opened a Sol short. Okay, I didn't push those buttons. My bot automatically opened it for me. And it's sitting in a mu long at the moment. So it automatically does it. And how do you get this bot? Well, very simple. You need 3 commas. Okay, 3 commas is your link between TradingView and your exchanges. So there's a 3 commas link in the show description for you guys with a special deal. So if you want 3 commas, go to the show description, get 3 commas. Then you're going to link your exchange to 3 commas. And then you want the back tester, which is available either through the accelerator program, the course that I'm doing, or alternatively, you can get it in Chart Hackers. The guys will guide you through it and tell you how to go about getting that back tester over there, and they'll give you tons of strategies that you can play with. So that is the bot doing its bot things. Let's see if it's gonna print for us. I mean, I don't really want to see Sol shorting because that means the market could be turning a little bit bearish for us. So not that keen on a Sol short, but it is what it is. But speaking of shorts, I got one. A potential setup. Look, at this moment, I don't know if we're going to get there. It looks like it's falling over already. But I wanted to give you guys a 𝗬𝗨 short for the weekend in case we pumped into a zone of interest here. And if we do on 𝗬𝗨, if you do push into 600, that looks pretty bearish for me. Look at that. We've got big horizontals here in that type of region. We've also lost that trend. And if we do pump into that zone, I've got VWAP, I've got 0.5, I've got horizontal. That looks like a short for me on 𝗬𝗨. So anyone interested in a head short or a scalp short play on 𝗬𝗨, if we get a move this weekend, look out. 600 could be a short zone for you. 610 even, anywhere in that zone could be somewhere of interest for the shorters, for the bears out there. And then an update for you guys on Klaus. Who took the Klaus trade? Anybody traded Klaus? Let me know in the chats here. And Klaus, we got 100% move so far. Okay, yeah. So far so good. Klaus, is it a Christmas play? Fuck, it doesn't look like a Christmas play, but you never know. 100% move. So guys, that was a nice little banger there as well for you on Klaus. Hopefully some of you guys got that. And let's finish with Peppy. Okay, shall we finish with Peppy, guys? Okay, what did I do yesterday? I'm in my Peppy long from a little bit lower down. I added to my position here yesterday because I was looking for an aggressive pump. What happened? Rinsed. Okay, so I'm still in my Peppy position. Now we've reclaimed that level. Let's see if we're going to get some momentum. So if you're trading Peppy today, let's just clean this up a little bit for you. Let's just see what is going down. You can see we've got our trend break. Okay. Nice little trend break here. Let's look at some short-term supports. Let's go lows to the highs. Bang. Okay, your big support now, Peppy traders, if you are in this thing at the moment, 237 is what you're going to be watching. That's your main support, 237. And then obviously you can see this is pretty clear here, what we've got up here. Look at that. Bang. 24 is what you got as your next support. So this is your safest support, 24. Watch that guy. And then your next big zone, 237 is what you're going to watch. And then upside targets for Peppy, 255 and 275. 255, 275. Those are your upside targets. Remember, all these charts go straight into Chart Hackers. So if you're a member of Chart Hackers, at your service, it's all there for you guys.
That's right.
DJ and Dave, Sunday night, massive night, bro. We teeing up the week.
Oh yeah. No, if you guys are not in the new group, man, I'm telling you guys, Sunday we drop the alpha. It's perfect timing too because it's right before the CME opens, and so far, I mean, last Sunday we called the sell-off. I said I wanted to see a little bit of a sell-off. I wanted to see Asia take some profits. We had that pumpy weekend, and sure enough, it happened. Didn't think it was going to be that aggressive, but yeah, we'll continue.
Pretty aggressive.
We'll continue to drop the alpha there for you guys. So.
Okay, Sunday night sessions with Dave and me coming up for you guys. Dave, see you later. You know where to find him. Uncle Ray, see you later, sir. Have a good weekend. Everybody, be safe. You got some DJ levels here. Let's hope they don't come and end us this weekend. I'd love to see those supports hold on Bitcoin and those alts they're going to play then, if we can. If not, okay, the rinsage continues then. They send us lower. Sunday night, we'll sort you out and we'll make sure that you are teed up for the week. Okay, guys, take it easy. Have a good weekend. See you later. Oh, this TV, what a banger. What a banger.